Hello, my name is Alexandra and today we are going to prepare a plum strudel with walnuts that is typical in Bosnia. We can make this strudel following many recipes, and this is a new way that I discovered recently, so I wanted to share it with you. You can enjoy the strudel with your morning coffee, and it's very tasty and soft even after a few days. My mom used to prepare strudel in winter days, usually with fresh plum jam that she would make at the end of summer. Enjoy this recipe. We should start with preparing the yeast. Take approximately 250 milliliters of tepid milk. Add around 60 grams of sugar. Add also around 60 grams of flour. Mix it shortly. Now we should add 20 grams of fresh yeast and gently mix. Do not use hot milk because in this case you will burn the yeast and the dough will not rise as it's supposed to. We will now leave the yeast to rise for about 15 minutes, and in the meantime we will prepare the rest of the ingredients. Now we will sift 500 grams of flour in a bowl where we are going to knead the dough. We will also sift approximately 15 grams of baking powder in order to break up all the lumps. Mix the flour and the baking powder. Add vanilla or vanilla flavor. Mix all gently. Add a pinch of salt. We will use for this strudel grated lemon zest, and this is what will give us that wonderful aroma that I could feel coming from the kitchen when my mom was making donuts, buchtle and strudel. Mix all this one more time. I will now add the yeast that already grew so much and it reached the edge of this pot. Add gently 250 milliliters of plain yogurt. Add 2 eggs. Add 150 grams of unsalted butter that you previously softened using a fork. It is better if you use butter at room temperature and not the completely melted one. We are going to make a dough now. As more as you knead the dough, it will become smoother and will have finer texture. While kneading the dough, it is necessary to gradually add more flour at a time so the dough does not stick to the bowl and your fingers. In total, you will need around 700 grams of flour. While we are kneading the dough, it is very important that the bowl is clean and that we do not have any remaining dry parts of the dough around the edges. In this way, the dough will look fine, smooth, and will not have unnecessary hard parts of dried dough. You should knead the dough for about 5 to 8 minutes. Cover the dough with a kitchen cloth and leave it to rest for about half an hour at room temperature. Now knead the dough again shortly for about 30 seconds. This step helps the dough to get smoother. Place plastic foil over the bowl and leave it in the fridge overnight. The next day we will take the dough from the fridge and start shaping the strudel. The dough is firm but smooth. I will start now to roll the dough. If you do not wish to wait for the dough overnight, you can also leave it to rest for only about 3 hours. I like more the dough that stays overnight in the fridge, and I would highly recommend you to do the same. Since I started applying this, I noticed that all pastries are much smoother and taste better. Roll the dough so you get the thickness for about 2 millimeters. While you are rolling the dough, you should be sprinkling some flour so the dough does not stick to the surface. I will spread over the dough some melted butter. This will make our strudel soft and will create clear layers, something similar to the puff pastry. Now we need to gently overlap the dough. Take gently one half and place it over the half that we spread the butter on. Move gently the dough if it's not properly overlapped. Repeat this one more time. Just spread the butter over one half of the dough and cover it with another half. Sprinkle some flour over the dough if you see that it's sticking. I will just move gently the dough so that it gets this straight shape and becomes uniform. It can help if dough is patted with hands so you get the same thickness all over. It is very easy to work with the dough if you have patience and if you are gentle. You should not be banging the dough and pressing it too hard while rolling because we need some air to remain inside. This air will make the dough soft. You should not use too much flour in order to keep the dough soft. Leave the dough to rest for about 20 minutes. Now we need just to sprinkle some flour over the work surface and divide the dough into 3 parts. I will now roll the dough into a thin sheet until it gets thickness for about 1 to 2 millimeters. I will spread over the dough some plum jam, and you can spread more or less than me as you wish. You can also use other types of jams. You can even add the grated chocolate over the jam. This all depends on your taste. And now I'm going to sprinkle some chopped walnuts over the strudel, and this is also what gives it special taste. You can also use grounded walnuts, but I think it's better if they are chopped, because how I am used to say, the taste of walnuts is not lost. In this way you can feel the taste of them clearly. Now you should gently wrap the strudel. Now let me explain why I insist on that word gently. If you do or make something with care and without stress, everything will go well and successfully. Therefore, I repeat so many times to do something gently and slowly. In addition, cooking can be not only an extra work, you can relax and enjoy cooking just if you do it slowly and with patience. Now to get back to the strudel. I will now wrap the strudel. I will roll out the edges a little bit more in order for strudel to stick better. I will repeat this with remaining dough. When the 3 parts are ready, we need to braid the dough. I will now leave the strudel to rise for about 2 hours. When the strudel rose, spread some butter over and bake it for about 40 minutes at 180 degrees. I would be glad if you make this recipe and let me know how you like it. I am sure you will be satisfied. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and check out the rest of my recipes. And as always, buon appetito!